Hello and welcome back to Lalande, where this week I have something very different to show you. As those of you who watch my Thursday vlog might know, last week I was in Portugal, and when I was in Porto I stayed in a beautiful hotel called the Torel Palace. The owners of that hotel were super lovely, and when we realised that we had a lot in common with our love of old buildings and renovation, they offered to show me two of their other hotels in town, both of which are in Porto's old palaces. One of them is complete, and we'll show you that at the end of the video, but the other one is a work in progress in one of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen. I loved every second of the visit, and I thought that you might enjoy it too, especially the delicate way in which they're merging the beauty of the past with wonderful contemporary comfortable touches. So here is the video of my trip to the Torel Palace in Porto. I'm really excited this morning because the people who own the hotel told me that they're restoring a palace in the city and making it into a luxury hotel, and they've offered to show me around. And I thought that you might be as interested as me to see how a palace turns into a hotel. So I'll take the camera along and show you. We've arrived at the building and look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I cannot wait to see the work in progress inside. Oh, this is my happy place. I love renovation projects.
This is our new project, the Torel Palace Porto. The building is very old. It's an old traditional palace, a Porto Palace, and it's one of the most beautiful buildings in Porto. And it will have 24 rooms. And the concept of our building are the Portuguese writers and poets. So each room is named after a Portuguese writer. And I will just show you and give you a little bit, a first glimpse of what you can expect. Yeah. This will be of course, the entrance. On the right side will be the reception. There's not much there yet. What we try to do is we renovate very carefully, which means we try to keep as many original features as possible. So what you can see here, for instance, all these paintings on the wall, these were repainted by hand by a team of very dedicated people who know their trade very well. So this is how it used to be exactly, and still has to be cleaned because it's very much in there.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, you will see more when you go upstairs.
I love the way that they're restoring everything as it was.
This is a sleeping beauty that we're trying to awake slowly by slowly, and it's something I think that everybody appreciates. When you have something here, why would you put something new? We will add carefully so that the palace can shine. And now let's come and I show you something even more exciting. You can get the first glimpse of the highlight as you peek up here.
Oh my goodness. That's certainly a jewel.
This speaks for itself. Actually, I don't need to say anything.
Words do not describe the beauty of this space.
So this is the claraboia, the skylight, and of course it gives all the lights to the whole palace until the ground floor. It depicts certain 4 figures that we have here.
The figures all seem to be linked to Portugal's maritime achievements. There's Athena, goddess of war and the arts, who's often portrayed with the aegis, a shield with the head of Medusa. And there's Mercury, the winged god of commerce and communication.
But you can see the, immense detail that has gone into this decoration here. And this is really a riqueza, a richness of the Porto tradition of architecture, design and art. I come here several times a week, but to stand here, the energy is so beautiful to see this. It's real art, and it has survived the centuries. To really respect the tradition, to respect the building, everything that was done before, and just to try to add what we can add and what makes sense is, I think, really our philosophy and our approach.
The hotel's designer, Isabel, is describing how she designed lights that would illuminate the stairs without detracting from the beauty of the skylight. This glowing strip of light winds its way all the way down the staircase. It's beautiful, and today is the first day it's been turned on.
I wanted to turn this place classical, as it is, all the classicism of the building, but giving some points of modernity. Like the lights and the bathrooms, all the things that you need when you're in the hotel. They are all contemporary, modern, and all that. And then you have the beauty of the classic building and the decoration.
It must have been a joy to work on this place.
Yeah. Yeah, and then all the rooms are completely different. I think in the end this will be perfect. I really think. Let's see.
I think so too. Now, excitingly, Ingrid's going to show me one of the royal suites.
It will be a royal suite. We have 2 royal suites. I will also show you the one above. One will be Fernando Pessoa. I don't know if it's this room or the other one, but of course he's one of the biggest Portuguese writers, so he gets a big room. This is original stucco that has been renovated carefully by hand, piece by piece.
That's spectacular.
This will be a bathroom.
Bathroom.
Yeah. So this is, we don't have it in all the rooms, but in some rooms we have kind of this box with the mirrors outside to reflect the architecture outside. So you have the bathroom in the middle. So this will be the bathroom in this room, and we will put mirrors outside in order for this cube to reflect this beautiful architecture and the design, and in that way it kind of disappears by itself.
It's ingenious.
I think we have this privilege of to have spacious rooms, which is beautiful, and of course it's a palatial feeling that we give, and we didn't want to, to cut this beautiful room would be a crime.
This next room is a little more advanced, so you can see the effect of that bathroom cube once mirrored. So at the moment I'm actually staring at a bathroom cube in the middle of a room, but you see the mirrors make it disappear and the room's proportions remain unchanged. I honestly think this is one of the most ingenious solutions I've ever seen to fitting bathrooms into bedrooms. Obviously it only works if you have something this size. Oh, hello. Here I am. I mean, look at the doors. The mirrors there are reflecting the ceiling. There are reflections everywhere. It's a wonderful play of light. I'm not sure that my video skills are doing it justice. Let's have a look inside the bathroom. There's no electricity yet, so it's going to be a very dark look inside the bathroom. The shower and the loo are there to the left. And then there's this really stunning brown marble work surface. Another ingenious way of protecting the fabric of the original palace are these electrical pillars in each room in which all of the lighting and sockets are put so that there's no chasing wires into the walls. Now we're going to see the second royal suite.
However, here it's still a little bit under construction. But what we can see here is how the people are working on this stucco. Bom dia. Bom dia. Tudo bem? Sim.
What a treat to see this in progress. And how wonderful that things are still being done like this today. It's just such painstaking, incredible craftsmanship.
This is the thing, I am from Austria, and for us, like, I grew up with handcrafts and all the things, but nowadays it became so rare, and of course it's also expensive, but it's something so special. I think it's to really appreciate this and to bring it back to life in a way is to honor, of course, everything that makes this place and this country.
That site, strewn paintbrush on ground, just reminds me of all the work we've done at Lalande. Restoration is the same everywhere in the world. To me, this behind the scenes is one of the most exciting things about a building. It's as beautiful to me as the finished result. There's the interior of this room's bathroom cube. I really want to come back one day and see this with the mirrored exterior. And on one side of the cube will be the bedroom, and on the other, the sitting room. Having seen the suites, it's really great to see that the small rooms have got just as much care and attention lavished on them, and still have a balcony outside. I love this mirrored wall. Then there's a dressing room, every girl's favourite, and Portuguese marble enormous shower room under a skylight. Oh, imagine showering in there in the rain. Oh, the lights are on in here.
Oh, the lights. Yes, another surprise.
Oh, wow. Oh, the lights couldn't be better.
Then step out to the top of the palace. Then you have Porto at your feet. It has just started to being transformed as a city. So you still see very old buildings, you see newly renovated buildings. It's a city that is really moving and shaking at the moment, and it's beautiful to be part of this change, of this development that is taking place here. Maybe let's go to the ground floor where there will be our restaurant.
Wow, we're going down into the basement.
We're going down into the basement.
Wow. Oh, what a great space.
This will be our restaurant. It will be called Blind, named after the City of the Blind by José Saramago, because you know the concept of our building are the Portuguese writers. And this is a Portuguese writer who won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So we honor him in that we name this restaurant after him. The concept will be that you don't know what you will eat, blind.
I love that. So what, no menu? Or?
No menu, exactly. We will change the ingredients from time to time, of course, but you don't know exactly what you are going to get.
I love it.
It's a secret, yes.
That's brilliant.
We want also to highlight the other senses, because we see a lot, but we forget about the feel, the taste, the smell of the ingredients, and this is something we want to highlight. So if you don't know or if you don't see, all the other senses are alerted even more.
No, you're actually making me hungry, and now I want to come with you. And look, it's not quite ready yet.
No, it's not quite ready yet. Actually, here we will do a vertical garden.
Oh, but I just love a mind that can look at this and imagine a finished garden. And I'm sure it's going to be stunning.
It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey.
Where are we going now?
Okay, we are leaving now the Torel Palace Porto, the construction site, and we're going to Torel 1884, which is the project that we opened in February this year. And there we will discover the discoveries. Welcome to Torel 1884. Let's embark on an exotic journey.
Ooh, this has to be one of the most glorious entrances to a hotel that I've ever seen.
Our art installation at the entrance of Torel 1884 is from an artist from Porto. His name is João Pedro Rodrigues. His specialty is to make heads. So when you enter, you find 6 light heads on the left sides, and these are like the muses. And for him, it's the goddesses of nature. On the other side, you find dark heads, and this is what he says is us, the people, with all our limitations, the real world. In order to discover yourself, to discover the world, to discover something, you need both. Torel 1884 is all about the Portuguese discoveries. The way we interpreted this concept is that each floor is named after a different continent. So the ground floor is Africa, the first floor is Americas, and the third floor is Asia. So this is our little bistro, Bartolomeo, named after Bartolomeo Dias, the discoverer. And let's see what secrets it has. Of course, also this bistro is Africa. So you see a very exotic ambience here.
Okay, I found one of my favourite things in the world. There's a table that you can just move to whichever side you want it on. I could sit in the window seat, you can have my computer, a tea, a little bit of cake, and then push it away when I've finished working and just recline.
But because this building used to be a bank, we will now walk into the old safe.
Wow. Oh, I like what you're keeping in your safe.
The original safe from this building, and or vault, as you I think call it. So here used to be the money, and now we have things that are much more precious. The best Portuguese wines that you can imagine, and also champagne, but it's the only exception. We work only with natural materials, cotton, silk, linen, everything wood. We don't use plastic. Welcome to our toilet.
Oh, no way. Oh, that is Africa. Oh. Oh, and the door. And look at the wall lights. Those huge tassels.
We're going now upstairs, and also here you have a little claraboia that gives us all the sunlight from Porto. Let's move to the first floor, Americas.
They're the keys that you use?
Yes, these are the copies, and we really use these keys. The rooms are named after products or things that the discoverers found in the countries where they went. So here we have, for instance, coffee, sugarcane, and tobacco. So I'm going to show you the coffee room.
Wow.
Well, we're in the coffee room now. It has, of course, Everything's in brownish colors.
I love the attention to detail. The bathroom is a dark brown masterpiece. There's even a little coffee grinder on the desk, and the cushions on the bed have Native American motifs.
And of course a painting made of coffee.
Made of coffee?
Made of coffee, with the coffee beans up there.
The painting is amazing, and I'm also very partial to the bath below it.
This is a typical technique, a traditional technique from Porto. It's called serapilheiras. And it was also used in knots, on the ships, of course, with which the sailors went out to discover new lands. The switches used to be not with a button to push, but you had to turn them around.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember this. So this is a company that makes kind of a new interpretation of something that used to be like this, that you have to turn around the switches. And this is a really intimate palace. We only have 12 rooms, so it's very, very private. I will show you one of my favorite rooms, the exotic birds.
Exotic birds, and I think this might be one of my favourite rooms.
Have a look at the bathroom.
I'm absolutely astonished because this is a mulberry wallpaper that I've had my eye on for quite a while. It's called Game Birds. But what I'm learning from here is how good it looks just next to raw stone. That's just the perfect combination. Again, the attention to detail is exquisite. There are touches of rattan here and there. This time there's a bird cage on the desk, and the bath, once again, is epic. Finally, we've made it to the top floor of the building, which houses the Mezzanine Library.
The whole idea of the space was to give you really the feeling to travel back in time. Os Lusíadas is, of course, the book, the Bible of Portugal, okay, where Luís de Camões explains or tells the story of the discoverers. Now, for me, reading a book is also a discovery, it's also a journey. But to read a book that was already read by somebody is another level of discovery. So I just want to show you here that in this book we find these annotations. Here, look at this.
My father used to write in all of his books, and so now when I pick up a book in my library, I have all his notes in the text of everything.
For me, this is another, goosebump moment, because
Yes, it is.
to discover this is like, okay, who was the person who read it? Who was the person who wrote it? What did they think? Okay, let's have a look at our honesty bar. You just pour yourself a drink here and just fill in what you had.
I love the mirrored trunk like that turned into a bar. This place is so inspirational, it's making me want to go home and redecorate everything. But now it's time for a cup of tea, and I'm looking forward to asking Ingrid about how she came to be in this beautiful place.
I used to work for the United Nations for 10 years in Africa, in Congo, Burundi, and then in Lebanon also, and then Somalia. And I wanted to return to my roots in a way. I wanted to return to Europe. I feel like a European, and I wanted to return to hospitality. Because I grew up on a farm, bed and breakfast, that was run by my grandmother, so I grew up with it. I made beds when I was 5 years old, I cleaned bathrooms and so on. So I really wanted to do that, and the place that I chose at the time, which was in 2015, was Portugal. So I quit my job, I flew to Austria, I bought a car, and I drove to Portugal.
No.
Yes. I was 10 days at home to buy a car and insurance and everything. Everybody thought I was nuts. I didn't know anybody, nothing. I was totally on my own. And in hindsight, I'm thinking, of course, it was a little bit crazy, but it was what I needed to do. I initially wanted to do a bed and breakfast in Alentejo, so I went to Alentejo to look for property. But I didn't find something where my heart was beating loud enough and with the passion. So I thought, let me look for something in Lisbon, and then I met my 2 business partners now, Barbara and Joao, and they invited me to join the project in 2016.
So in 3 years, you've come from arriving here to start from scratch and try to make a B&B to running 5-star hotels.
Yes, exactly. The avant-garde was the first one, and for me it was really something unreal in the first few days. I was walking around the hotel, I'm like pinching myself. This is my place, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, so it's really a little bit still a dream to be able to realize all of these projects.
I really hope you enjoyed that tour as much as I did. And if you love anything to do with chateaus and renovations, please subscribe to this channel. There'll be lots more of that in future. Have a wonderful Sunday and see you next week.